Hi everyone! Come spend an eventful day in my life as a master's student at LSE studying social and cultural psychology. I got ready and started the day at 9 a.m. with a small breakfast. I had those whilst I did some transcription work for my dissertation for about an hour. As I am currently in the spring term and I'm done with all the exams and assignments, I'm just focusing on my dissertation at the moment, which means it's a lot of independent work. My days in the autumn and winter term look very different with more classes and group work, although today is an eventful one for a spring term. At 10:30 I headed to campus. I live in Urbanus Westminster Bridge, which is a very central accommodation, so my commute consists of a great view of London from the Waterloo Bridge, which I enjoyed despite the classic UK wind and rain. Once I got to campus, I headed straight to the library where I did an interview for my dissertation in the ground floor booths area, where you can speak and co-work. I love that there are a range of non-silent and silent study spaces options both in and out of the library at LSE, as different work requires different vibe and environment. My interview was done at 12, so I headed to the student salon on campus to heat up my lunch in the microwave. I often take lunch with me because I love cooking and it's also a way to save money, although there are plenty of nice lunch options on campus which I sometimes treat myself to. I joined some friends in the centre building and had my lunch, so today was a leftover of my anchovy pasta, while slightly working, and then it was time to head to our 4-hour workshop on qualitative analysis in psychology. As I said, the winter term is a lot of independent work, so it was so nice to see some of my friends that I hadn't seen in a while and get some in-person teaching. We had a quick break where I joined a friend getting coffee from the cafe in the Sir Arthur building, which is one of the many cafes on campus, but then we headed straight back to work for another 2 hours. After a workshop, I took a quick call for about half an hour for an independent project I'm working on outside of academics, but then headed to the George V afterwards, which is a lovely classic pub on campus to wind down after our long workshop and catch up over a pint. At 6:30, we took a stroll to Chinatown from campus for a quick bite of some lovely buns on the way to a very special event organised by our programme, which was going to the theatre to watch The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It was such a lovely occasion to get together as a small cohort and enjoy such an amazing production and to take advantage of the fact that we are right in the middle of a vibrant art scene here in London. The show was absolutely amazing, really, really emotional and moving, and made us think a lot about what we discuss in our course, which is a lot to do with culture and communities. The show ended around 10, so I walked back with my friend to our accommodation through iconic London locations including Trafalgar Square, the Big Ben and the Westminster Bridge. And from 11 to 12 I did some light admin work whilst decompressing from an eventful day. I do often stay on campus for longer or have some structured work days, but I try to have fun events and hangouts planned or do routine hobbies like choir, even in the busier term times, so that I don't get burnt out and can enjoy the last moments of a student life. Thanks so much for joining, and hope this gave you a glimpse into what a day in my life looks like as a master's student in LSE.